The Pope steps down on this date. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is February 28th, 2024. It is the 59th day of the year. There are 307 days left in 2024. It is your 9th Wednesday in your 9th week and the 70th day of winter. You got 20 days left until spring. Today is National Tooth Fairy Day. In many cultures around the world, various traditions around the Tooth Fairy are celebrated. The Tooth Fairy herself or himself has been around since at least the Middle Ages, although the exact origins are still unknown. I gave my kids Tooth Fairy a name. They were under the impression that a strange man named Stu that had wings left them cash under their pillow. Honestly, don't think they've ever recovered. All right, let's see what else February 28th has given us. 1844, a gun explodes on board the steamship USS Princeton during a pleasure cruise down the Potomac River, killing 6, including Secretary of State Abel Upshur. President John Tyler, who was also on board, was not injured from the blast. 1959, Discover 1, an American spy satellite that is the first object intended to achieve polar orbit, is launched but fails to achieve orbit, crashes down to Earth. 1983, the final episode of MASH airs with almost 110 million viewers. Now, this is interesting because it's known as the most watched TV show of all time. It is sort of. It's the end of a series. It's the last TV show. Now, there was events that were shown and had bigger audiences. They say it was 110 million viewers. Other people say it was closer to 106 million. Either way, that's a lot of people. If you look at just shows or just events, they're number 11 behind 10 Super Bowls. And the final episode of MASH was the only non-Super Bowl in the top 20. Now, if you look at all of them minus the Super Bowls, it's MASH with 106, 105, 110, whatever you want to say, million. The Gulf War coverage got 85 million. That was the first Gulf War in 1991 as it kicked off. Here's where it gets strange. The Clinton-Trump presidential debate in 2016 got 84 million. Dallas, when they found out who shot JR, that got 83 million in 1980. You had the Carter-Reagan presidential debate, followed by Cheers at number 6, their final one. One for the road, 80 million. The Winter Olympics, 1984, followed by this really strange show that was played out like a newscast called The Day After. But it was supposedly nuclear war had started, and they put it on TV like it was a newscast, and it freaked people out. That one, interesting thing, Nicholas Myers was the director. I met him when I lived in Los Angeles. He also did a really cool movie called Summersby with Richard Gere and Jodie Foster. And the final 2 non-Super Bowl events were Roots, Part 8, and Seinfeld, the finale. I find it amazing that MASH held on to the top spot for all these years. 40 years, 41 years now. 1993, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, or ATF, agents raid the Branch Davidian Church in Waco, Texas, with a warrant to arrest the group's leader, David Koresh, starting a 51-day standoff. That was a fiasco. 2001, the Nisqually earthquake. This was a 6.8 magnitude earthquake. That epicenter was in the southern Puget Sound, and it damaged a good amount of Seattle. I mean, no buildings fell down or anything like that. There's a whole lot of broken windows and broken sidewalks, things of that nature. 2013, Pope Benedict XVI resigns as Pope of the Catholic Church, becoming the first pope to do so since Pope Gregory the 12th in 1415. Most die in office, or I don't know, it's not office, but you know what I mean. Most popes die serving as the pope. Movies released on February 28, 1997, Donnie Brasco. Based on a true story, the film follows FBI agent Joseph D. Pistone, who goes undercover to break up the mafia, but he soon realizes that his new friend Lefty will certainly die once the job is complete. The film takes place in New York City during the 1970s. This was a great movie. It had Johnny Depp, Al Pacino, Anne Heche, Michael Madsen, Bruno Kirby, and James Russo. Born on February 28, 1957, Cindy Wilson, singer and co-founder of the 1980s new wave band, the B-52s, the new wave band that released the hit Rock Lobster and Love Shack. She actually wrote the song Rock Lobster. The idea of forming the band emerged over drinks at a Chinese restaurant. The band, they were all friends from college. They were living in Athens, Georgia. And of the group, my understanding, what I heard before, was the only one that knew how to play an instrument at the time was her brother, who was the guitarist for the band. Died on February 28th, 1868, Henry Deringer, inventor of the small portable Deringer pistol. He saw his weapon become popular in the gold rush in California. He also made long barrel rifles for the U.S. military and the Indian tribes. He did not see his invention as anything special and never patented his design. With the result, a whole bunch of Deringer knockoffs became a big thing. This was a family business. His father, Henry Deringer Sr., made rifles for the Kentucky colonists. Sadly, his pistol was used in the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. The newspaper story misspelled the name of the pistol with an extra R. From that point on, they became known as Deringers with the second R. Deringer died in 1868 at the age of 81. There was no cause of death, but I am assuming it's of old age or natural causes. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day. Be nice to each other.